Hello guys, to another episode. This will be a little bit different because we're taking a look at the Desperado. This is a one hand trigger, just blaster in general. Pull the trigger, it fires pretty much. That's it. And I'm gonna do a range test, a FPS test, which is a power test, and then an accuracy test about at 30 feet. And I'll be doing it with a stock version. I will do a slight modification to it, and then a heavy modification to it, and see how it does. If you don't know this blaster is pretty cool. Kind of looks like a jet engine, which I really like. I think it looks dope. The trigger is like on the nail biter, pretty much. It's just a one hand trigger, 4 fingers. Pull it almost all the way down. It will change its barrels, and then fully, it fires. And it's 6 shots, so it's a Magnum, and it's a really, really cool blaster. If I do a comparison, let's just grab this guy off the wall. This is the Ninja Turtles, kind of just sleek, like hammer shot blaster, and comparing it to this, they're pretty close, I would say. Better handle on this guy. Actually, I'm gonna see, because this is my favorite one-handed blaster. These are stock. This is not. But this handle, this four finger handle, is not my preferred. Is not preferred for me because I can. One finger, it's definitely difficult, but if you have 2 fingers on it, easy. So in the heavy modification, I will see if I can remove any of this trigger to see what it can do and stuff. But that's for the heavy modification. But with that, let's take this thing to the range, get some FPS readings, accuracy, and just see what it's all about, shall we? Now we're doing an accuracy test. I'm at 30 feet, aiming for the cylinder. I have 6 Adventure Force waffles. I'm going to do a full trigger pull, and then after, I'm going to use some bamboos with a kind of half trigger pull thing before firing. So let's just get started. That was pretty good. I think that was about 3. One just barely nicked an edge. So 3 out of 6 with a blaster like this is not bad. So now we're going to try bamboos, shall we? And there is an issue with this blaster. You can't just do a half trigger pull, because doing that will make darts fly out to load it. So you have to manually rotate the cylinder. And I'll show you half trigger pull. That's when you pull down halfway, and then you fully release. Alright, I think that was, what was that? I think that was 4 out of 6, so not bad. And with that, let's get to our last test, and let's take a look at the range. Alright, we'll be getting the FPS readings. We're using the darts it came with, Adventure Force waffles. 73. Error. 70. 65. Error. 72. So low 70s pretty much. Alright, we're using Adventure Force waffles. Downrange, see how this goes. flat shots, and then we'll also be comparing it to the nail biter. Not too bad. Now we have the nail biter. Alright, now let's go and take a look, shall we? Alright, this is where we did it. Now let's walk and see where the darts landed, shall we? Man, it's not fun out here. I'm getting bitten up by mosquitoes. The first dart, this is from the nail biter. Sitting right under 35 feet. We got another 2 from the nail biter. Right here, about 40. One more nail biter. 43. Here's the first 3. Nail biter and 2 from the blaster. We're at 45. One more nail biter slightly further, which this looks to be the furthest one. About at a little bit less than 47. 2 more. Right around 50. Then final 2. The average is about 55. Farthest dart of the day is a 56. Overall, not terrible, not that great. But for a stock blaster that's only a single trigger pull, it's pretty good. Beats out the nail biter. So overall, the stock Desperado has done pretty well. Overall, I like it anyways. It's pretty accurate. It's pretty decent. Bit underpowered is the issue. Getting around 70 FPS, I would say. Hitting, around 50, 48 feet. But its trigger is very, very nice. I honestly really do like this trigger. Comparing it to the nail biter, it's just very sleek and just nice, easy, just pull. This one's more of collapsing in. One part of it this part doesn't pull. This part pulls in, the bottom one doesn't, so it's kind of just a weird angle. This one, pulling from the top, bottom, it all pulls it in. And even comparing that to the original, yes, I do have original, it's way better than this trigger pull. It's actually shorter than this trigger pull, which is crazy. Which is nice. And yeah, I like it. Pretty much, the thing is, the majority of this trigger to there is just to change its barrels, prime the spring. This little bit at the end is to fire. So you do have to pull really, really far. It's completely shut to make that happen. But it is pretty good, pretty nice. Not really much to say. With that, let's actually, get to the point of this, is to make it better. Now let's do a basic modification to it, open it up, show you what I can do to make it slightly better, and then after another round of testing, we go to fully modifying it, doing the works, doing whatever I can to make this thing better. Alright, so here's the very first look at the internals. And the first thing I'm doing, first modification, is to take this guy out, because this guy just makes friction and useless, and is to stop Adventure Force from putting half darts in their blasters. Then, just right now, we're just going to take a look at the spring. It's not bad. It's not a bad spring. It's longer than I thought it was, actually. This plunger tube is very interesting, though. Here's the system. And yeah. It's a very, very strange how this thing works, but it does work. It's a bit loose, so pretty much all I'm doing as the mod is to take this piece out, put some more just lube in it, and some Teflon tape on the O-ring. And we'll get back to you when that's done, shall we? Alright, so here it is. Finished modifying it. So let's just see what I can do. Got some Teflon tape in here. Maybe a little bit too much. We'll find out in the testing if it makes it better or worse, having a tighter seal on that. We took off thing in front, so you can fire half darts now, so we might as well do a test like that too. And re-lubed everything up, and yeah, just some basic internal mods. So let's see how it does on the field, shall we? Alright, now with the brand new modifications, light modifications, let's see if it hits any harder. To be honest, I'm a little worried. 64. 60. 49. 67. Error. 69. So it's actually performing worse. So instead of doing the tests with the light modification, I'm just going to go straight into the heavy modification, because the spring in here is just not good enough for the Teflon tape I put on it. I didn't even put that much, but it was enough to make a difference. So I need a heavier spring, and I need to fix this handle, and then we'll get back to you with the heavy modification, shall we? Alright guys, here it is. Here it is in all its glory. It is modified. And why did this episode take so long to get out? Well, I actually glued something onto the trigger, and I went on a trip. You'll see that eventually. And yeah, I glued a piece of a Sharpie Sharpie just body onto it, because this thing needs a lot of strength to pull it now, and this thing gives you way more leverage, because before the trigger had to be completely snug with the blaster, but now you can get away with way more. And now it is a 2-finger trigger. The rest of the trigger is now glued inside. 2-finger trigger, which is perfectly fine. Grab a dart, throw it in, and it is a hefty trigger pull, that's for sure. It's not terrible. What I did to it is it has its original spring, and I think it has a 13 kilogram like Alpha Trooper spring on it, with a little bit extra like actual original Alpha Trooper spring to not have any rattle, because it's slightly too small. But with that, this thing definitely upped its power. I fixed it from the light modification. Don't worry, this video was not a bust. It is actually more powerful, and I'll show you. And it's actually way more comfy and more accurate, because you can actually hold the trigger. Because I didn't like how you had to pull down the entire handle to make it fire. It makes it not accurate. But now you got 2 fingers on it. Now you can aim, fire all you want. Not bad at all. With that, let's take it to the range. See its accuracy, see its range, see its FPS. Let's go, guys. This one, I'm cooking. We are out here at 30 feet with the modified blaster, loading 6 waffles, and we see how good the accuracy is. Then we'll do half darts, and yeah, that's about what we're doing. Up. So a good bump in power, but it is very hard to pull a trigger. Sorry, that dart was loose. Alright. One, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 6. Not bad at all. Now, we will do half darts. See how those do. Okay, here we go. And yeah, that's 6 out of 6 half darts at 30 feet. 4 out of 6 for the full lengths, 6 out of 6 for the half darts. Pretty good. Perfect blaster. I would take this on the field, actually use it. The only issue is how hard you have to pull that trigger, because you pull it, that's it, half down, and then you really have to push it down to get that thing to fire. But to be honest, it's not terrible. With two fingers over some time, you get used to it. Not bad. Now let's take it to the range. Alright, here's the modified blaster. Take it with a chronograph. We're using Adventure Force waffles. See what it can do. 88, 81, 68, 80, 88, 95. Now let's do it with half darts. Okay, we got worker half darts. Error. 95. 92. 89. 80. And a shotgun burst of 2 half darts. 53. Not too bad. Pretty all over the place, but not too shabby, I would say. See how far away you can get it? Set about at 80 feet. We'll do 12 Adventure Force waffles. 6 right now, and then a reload. Not all these are new, so that will be probably an issue, but it's fine. Now we will do some half darts. And I am fully seating these. And we will have 1 shotgun blast in there as well. Uppies. Alright, maybe not a shotgun blast. Looks like they don't really work that well. And we'll try it. We'll get the barrels only seal, you know, like every other thing halfway. So the barrel actual seal is not great. If I brassed it, it would probably perform way better, which I might actually, because the amount of, you know, trigger pull you need for this thing. Alright. But yeah, barrels are not great, need to work on those. But with that, let's walk, see what we're looking at. Don't mind the 2 right here, those things popped out of the blaster because you cannot switch barrels with the trigger, which is weird because it seals so good. It'll fire. Here's the first one from the double shot. The first round is at 42 feet. Here's the shotgun blast. There's one of the rounds. The next round from the shotgun blast is up here at about 51.5 feet. Then we have a large grouping of rounds right here. Take about the middle point, which is just about 56 feet. Then got another big grouping right here, and about average is coming in at about 65 feet, I would say. Then the farthest elite and a half dart is coming in at 67. Another half dart at 70. One more half dart coming in 72.5. And then I think this is it. The farthest half dart is coming in at 74.5, just about. And overall, I think we upped its power, did pretty good. Let's take it to the final thoughts, shall we? I'm sorry, my bad. There's one more right here. Sorry, they're dark rounds. I actually bought them. They're supposed to be white. They came and they were black. The last one is actually coming at 85 feet. Don't ask me how or why, but the last round came in at 85 feet, which that is incredibly impressive for a one trigger blaster. No priming, just one trigger pull. So overall, this thing got an increase with power and a very heavy trigger pull, which I made it so it's not terrible, but it's not great either. It has its issues, but it is more powerful. And if I brass these barrels, I'm sure I could get this hitting about 100, which is actually pretty dang cool because it has that power. The barrels just aren't it right now. And yeah, I hope you liked the modification guide to this. Hope you liked the video. And if you would like to see me brass these barrels, let's try and get this video to, I don't know, let's do something crazy. If we can get 400 views on this video, I will brass the Desperado and make another video about it, showing you how much power you can actually get out of this thing. You fully go the distance. I just don't have brass right now, so I ended up not doing that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this type of video. Leave a comment below if you want me to do more. Bye bye.